What is up? What's up, everyone? Dr. Cam here, back for another beautiful episode of After Hours. So listen, it's been a second since I've been on here. Currently, I'm at home inside of my wonderful basement. I have full transparency. My family is upstairs. I have an office upstairs as well. A little bit nicer of a background and stuff like that. But my daughter is currently she's currently potty training this week. So we take a little bit unorthodox way of potty training. So my 2-year-old daughter is essentially running around the house naked. And so I don't want to be upstairs in my upstairs office and potentially have my naked daughter run right through the camera. So with that being said, I am downstairs in my other office. I got my workout bike, my kettlebell, and stuff like that. Actually, after this, going to put the girls to bed and then going to get a workout. But that's not what you guys are. You guys are here because you're here for After Hours. You're like, okay, you guys have been providing a ton of value all year long. So what is it that you guys are providing today? Well, what the guys told me today in the clinic was that you guys have been on a kick, essentially, talking about the personal lives of the docs in the clinic. You heard Grant first, I believe. Then you had Chris. And then, of course, now you have me. What does Dr. Cam's life look like outside of clinical practice? So most of my patients, when they see me in a clinical setting. And in a clinical setting, I'm a lot different than I am outside of the clinic, okay? Clinically, I'm clinically taking care of people. I'm using big language. I'm looking into their case and stuff like that. And then people will go to Gino's Coffee or they'll see me at Kroger, and I will have my sweatpants on and a sweatshirt, just a normal person. And I think something that can get massively, massively underestimated as doctors is that, we don't have a life outside of a clinical setting. And my friends, that is far, far beyond the truth. Matter of fact, we have all of life happening outside of the clinic. So before we get started, those of you that are on, if you could go ahead and just leave your name, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. We thank you so much for logging on, being able to listen to Office Hours, providing value every single week to you guys. We're getting a little bit personal this week with my life outside of the clinic. So let's get started. So who is Dr. Cam, right? Who is Dr. Cam? What does Dr. Cam like to do? Dr. Cam enjoys a couple of things. If you could ask my wife, what's one thing that you will find Cam doing every single day? For some reason, it is just a massive hobby of mine. But I like to not only like to, you get hearing my washer, or you were hearing my dryer go off, so maybe a bit quiet in here, thank God. But if it's one thing that, if you ask my wife, hey, what does Cameron do, right, outside of the clinic? She would say, I should bring her down. I mean, she's upstairs right now, running around with my, again, naked daughter because we're potty training. But if I brought her here right now, you would say, hey, Megan, give me 3 things that Cameron's doing on a daily basis. She'd say, number 1, serving God. Number 2, taking care of his family. Number 3, taking care of patients. And that is about the extent, quite frankly, of my life right now. I have my morning routine. Listen, guys, I have a morning routine. If you don't have a morning routine, we got to talk about that. We got to get a morning routine established. But I have my morning routine. I have my clinic routine. At home, I have my evening routine. So after this, we go upstairs. We call it a little liturgy, where we get out a candle, have my daughter light the candle, and then we do all this stuff. But so my life outside of the clinic, honestly, would probably look a lot different than Grant and Chris's in terms of it's pretty boring. And it's pretty mundane. And what I mean by that is, for those of you on the outside, so let's take Dr. Chris, for example. 7 years old, no kids, no girlfriend or wife, or really anyone that he's talking to for that nature. Chris is the definition of a bachelor that is just enjoying life as a single guy in his apartment, gets to go out and gets to go out, he gets to go to mountains every single week and hike. And Grant, heavily involved in business. He's got multiple different businesses and stuff like that. My friends, I have one, or I should say, I shouldn't have one. I have two businesses. Okay, two businesses. It's called the Daniels House, which is where I currently am right now. And those of you that don't know, I'm in my home, my basement office, my upstairs office. Like I said, my daughter's running around, so I didn't want her to come on the live naked because we're potty training. But I have two jobs. Number one is the Daniels household, and number two is the specific chiropractic centers. Those are my businesses. Those are businesses that I run. It's the business of the specific chiropractic centers with Grant and Chris, and then it's my family. And quite frankly, it's something that I've had to wrestle with, because I look at, so for those of you that don't know, I'm 28 years old. Me being 28 years old, especially in today's culture, my lifestyle is so unorthodox to a lot of other 28-year-olds. Chris as well. Chris is, those of you that don't know, Chris is 27, very mature. He and I just don't fit in with the mainstream 20-year-old crowd, where they want to go to bars and they want to go to Thirsty Thursday and Talk Tuesday and bars on the weekend and go and hang out or go clubbing. I just don't want to do any of that. Honestly, quite frankly, what I want to do, I want to take care of my family and take care of my patients. That's where I'm at. So I mean, that's pretty much the extent of my life. So what else do I like to do outside of the clinic? My wife and I, we give each other some personal times. What that means is she'll bring the girls to the clinic on Fridays, where I'll watch them inside of the clinic. Patients aren't there, but we're all out inside the clinic while I'm getting and finishing some work done for the week. My wife will go out, have some personal time, and then I'll have personal time where she'll watch the girls, and I will go out and can do whatever I want for a couple hours. So what am I doing during those times? I am, quite frankly, there's a Christian bookstore named Mardel. I am there like all of the time here in Little Rock. Why? I don't know. I have a huge Bible collection already. For those of you that don't know, you should watch my video on YouTube. I don't know. It's just something that I like to do. I like to walk around Mardel. I don't buy anything half the time. I just like to look at the stuff that they have there. So you'll catch me probably at Mardel. If you go there at least once a week, you're bound to see me there, whether it be on the weekends with my family or during the weekday during my personal time. So what else am I doing? Going to the library and sitting. Okay. I like to just sit at the library. I like to read. I love to read. I love to write. I love to reflect. I love to plan. And so sitting at a library, something that I enjoy doing. Again, my lifestyle for a 28-year-old man in today's world is completely unorthodox. And what do I like to do with my family, right? I mean, we like to go to the parks, Museum of Discovery. Oh my goodness. Museum of Discovery is completely and utterly amazing, not just for my children, but for me as well. Quite frankly, I run around that place probably more than my kids do. It's incredible. It's fun. It's playful. So I like to go there and hang out there. My wife and I, okay, you guys are going to laugh at this. My wife and I, if there's one thing that you would catch me doing every single day with my wife, it's playing Mario Kart. We play Mario Kart almost every single night. Every single night. We move the TV into our room for the time being because our daughter's not watching TV. I know you've heard me say I'm not a proponent of having TVs in the rooms. Done enough nervous system work on myself to be able to know that, quite frankly, I could fall asleep with the TV on and it would not interrupt my sleep whatsoever. So what we do is the girls go to bed. I will get a workout in, and then after my workout, I'll go upstairs. I'll shower. Her and I will get in our bed and we'll play Mario Kart. That is just something that we have found to be super fun for her and I. We play Mario Kart, like I said, almost every single night. Almost every single night. So my current character is Yoshi, if anyone cares. So, I mean, like I said, there's honestly not much for after hours tonight because that's what they told me to talk about tonight. The guys in the specific chiropractic centers, they said, hey, we've been talking about our personal life, what we do outside. Again, my friends, those of you with kids, you can understand this fact. There's not much to do outside of, the business. There's those two businesses. My business at home, which is my family, and my business in the clinic, which is taking care of patients. Outside of that, honestly, there's nothing too much that I frankly even enjoy doing. So pretty boring. Mountain bike. I guess I do like the mountain bike. I love the mountain bike. But when I get the time to do that, work out. I love to work out. It really clears my mind. I mean, dude, this is what the guys want to talk about tonight. I got to talk about a lot more things, but they said, hey, keep it on the personal stuff, what you do outside of the clinic. I guess that's it. That's it for office hours tonight. I don't know if there's any value in that whatsoever for me letting you know my life is outside the clinic right now. But that's quite frankly exactly what it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make up some like astronomical thing like, oh, I'm super dad and I do all these million different things and I golf for 10 hours a day while also being with my family the other 10, right? And no, my life is so what some would say mundane that quite frankly it is beautiful because I get to see the fruit inside of my marriage, most importantly, inside of my children and inside of my patients every single day. I'm fulfilled. I genuinely mean that. I am fulfilled. If that's literally where I'm at right now in life, I'm completely okay with that because I get to see the fruit of my marriage because you guys have heard me before. I don't know if you hear my daughter running upstairs, but you guys have heard me say this before. The most important relationship of my entire life is my marriage. Blank, period. There is nothing more in this world that God has given me to steward over than my marriage. My marriage is the most important thing inside of my entire life. Because with a healthy marriage comes healthy kids. With healthy kids comes, healthy business. Like that's my focus is marriage. I love my marriage. So I get to see the fruit in my marriage every single day. And then I get to see the fruit in my kids every single day. And then I get to see the fruit in my patients every single day. Other days, like a couple days ago, where I'm worn out, I come home, I'm worn out. My prayer at night is literally, Lord, I'm tired. Good night. Of course, I have those days, especially when you're managing patients, managing a family. But it's worth it. It is totally worth it. I don't have downtime right now. I mean, I could barely make it on these lives. That's why Chris and Grant have been doing it because I come home and I gotta, take care of my family and. Like I said, we're potty training this week, so that's our big milestone as a family. Is getting my daughter potty trained, and that's just what life is right now. If you guys are interested in more of that, or most importantly, how I balance any of that, I'm actually starting another podcast. We still have the Happier, Healthier Arkansas podcast, but I'm actually starting another podcast. It's literally called the Busy Fathers Podcast. It's not out yet. You guys are actually the first to hear it, but it's called the Busy Fathers Podcast, and essentially what I do is I help fathers and I teach fathers in this podcast how to be busy in what matters most. Because what most guys try to do, especially guys my age with kids, is they try to do the same stuff they were doing when they were 22 with their family. And there's just no balance. A big part for me was just accepting the fact that I'm in the natural state and I'm not going to explore every single mountain right now. I'm not going to do it. When our kids get a little bit older, sure. But right now, I'm just not going to do it. So my podcast that I'm starting is called Busy Fathers. The Busy Fathers Podcast is helping fathers be busy in what matters most. If you guys are even interested in that podcast, it should be released here very soon at the end of September. Already have a couple episodes banked. Let's talk about giveaways. I don't know if the other guys have mentioned anything about the giveaways. For those of you listening either now or on the back burner of this, I will always keep it honest with you guys. Just like I keep it honest with my patients. I don't care when this goes on, Facebook or YouTube forever. I want to be very transparent with whoever watches the video. We are behind in giveaways. And so not like massively behind, but we are behind. And so what I mean by that is we are currently going through, essentially, if you are watching this and you know for a fact that we have some stuff to give away to you and we haven't given away, I need you to send us an email. I'm going to post that email in the comments. Little Rock at thespecific.com. So I need you guys to email this little rock at thespecific.com. Essentially, just email us, the things that you may be missing on your giveaways, because what happens is when we make these giveaways, we talk about it before we go on the live. Hey, let's give away something cool tonight. We'll give it away, and then my friends, I could show you my calendar. I could show you Grant's calendar. I could show you Chris's calendar. we say we're going to give this away, and then we literally do not have time to go pick it up, and we don't have an assistant that can go pick it up. It's literally us three in the clinic and us three in the clinic alone. And so when we get backed up, on 1 week, then it backs up to the next week. So we know, and we're going to be very honest and transparent in the fact that we have some gifts out there that we haven't given away, and it's simply due to the fact that we are just behind. It's hard to keep track of all of it. So essentially, if you could just let us know, email littlerock@thespecific.com. Let us know exactly which ones you are, what gifts or giveaways that you have not received yet from us. We will make that right with you. I will actually go back, Grant and Chris, one of us, will go back, confirm the date that the gift was, that the giveaway was given, and then be able to backtrack. So, and it's not a problem at all. We should have that problem solidified, hopefully by the end of next week's Labor Day. And I know Grant and I will be here. So hopefully we should get it done by the end of next week. But what we need from you guys is to email littlerock@specific.com the giveaways that you've missed, so that way we can make it right with you. That is not in our nature, not in our nature at all. We just bit way off more. We bit more off than we can chew with those giveaways in terms of time. And so since it's the time piece, because we weren't able to go out to the stores and stuff like that, all I have to do is get a list, and then essentially one of the docs will block out their calendar to go buy these gift cards and to be able to give it away to you guys. So I wanted to make sure that I addressed that. So with that being said, there is going to be no giveaway tonight. The reason why is because we're already behind. I don't want to get behind even more. We will pick the giveaway back up as soon as everyone from the past has gotten their giveaways, because we definitely want to make sure that right, because every single one of us in the clinic operate on the integrity, delivering exactly what we said we were going to deliver. So that's what I have tonight. That's a little insight into Dr. Cam's life. There's probably more I could have talked about, but I mean, I don't know how interesting my life is outside of the clinic. I mean, it's pretty mundane, it's pretty boring, and I love it. So God bless you guys. I'm very appreciative for every single one of you. Thanks for hopping in on the after hours. And of course, we will see you next week. God bless you guys.